All right, gang, how's everybody doing tonight? Wonderful day in chat today. We're gonna do a quick live stream tonight and cover some of the top trades of the day. UVXY, 100% trade that you could have netted from today. We trade live right here Monday through Friday, right here on this stream. The camera is still not working. I'm working on that tonight right after this stream. So if you could bear with me, guys, just like Chick-fil-A, we're serving out the goodness. The market's pulling back. Bitcoin pulling back. All right. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of opportunity, and we're going to cover it. So I got a lot of stuff I'm working on the stream. I need one thing from you guys. I need you guys to hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already subscribed. We're working our way to 1,000 subscribers. I greatly appreciate your help. I need you. You need me. We're here to deliver the goodness so we can all manage risk, make some money, and be profitable year in and year out, whether the markets are going higher, whether the markets are going lower, whether the markets are moving sideways. But right now, we don't have no sideways. We are just there, guys. I don't think that I can really explain the amount of opportunity that there is on a daily basis. Let's get right into it, guys. I hope you guys, again, had a wonderful day. Hit the like button, subscribe, throw this thing viral so someone out there could help. So someone out there that is looking for a place to trade, looking for a place to learn, somewhere where they can go and ask questions. If I don't have the questions, I'm going to send you to the person that has them. But if it's about the markets, I've been trading for close to 10 years now. Steady, profitable, year in, year out. You know, I never put myself in a bad position. And I'm going to tell you guys what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. So if you appreciate that, last time, hit that like button, subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to be excited to get there. I'm doing a giveaway for you guys. So as long as you're subscribed and you've liked the streams, you're in. All right. So we're going to get right into it. Let's talk about the overall markets. Bitcoin had a nice pullback today. SPY, Qs, the overall markets had a nice pullback. So what I'm going to do here, as you guys see, you guys can see the list there on the side. I'm trying to make some changes here. I do have to say, guys, remember, this is just me here. So if you guys could, any type of constructive criticism would be appreciated. I urge you guys. Super Tuesday, Bitcoin. I mean, there's just a lot again. So the S&P's a decent pullback today, nearly a 1% pullback today. I was on UVXY. It was a beautiful trade. We got long UVXY, which is an inverse ETF. If the market's pulling back, typically now UVXY you need to know is more VIX futures trade, right? It is a double leveraged ETF. Okay, we used to have TVIX, TVIX. Now that was my go-to whenever we would have days or weeks or seasons like this, whether you're in a bear market, a day. These are ways that you can use, or these are, formats that you can use, if you have a long-term portfolio. Again, you need to know what you're doing. You can't just randomly buy it. You need to know the disclaimers. You need to know everything. Just like the disclaimer for this live stream, it's in the description. Read the fine print. Read the fine print for the things that you trade, whether it's for tax reasons, this and that. I urge you guys to, at the end of the day, as far as managing money, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I urge you to seek one. I urge you to seek a licensed tax professional, okay? But if you want to learn how to day trade, you want to learn how to manage risk and get to know about the markets, this is the place for you. So today I went long UVXY from entry to exit. I did not exit at 100%. I think my trade was about, 45, anywhere from like that 45 to 60% range. I took it off. Again, I have to go back and look for anybody that really wants the, but everything is fully recorded. Okay, everything's fully recorded again right here on this channel. We trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. And I expect tomorrow to be another volatile day. So there's a lot going on. So again, I'm going to start with the overall markets. the S&Ps pulled back 1%. Now, I don't know why my charts are doing this. I don't have it zoomed in or anything. Now, what do I want to look for on the SPY? The SPY, I've told you guys, just like Apple, all right? Just like Tesla. Once Tesla, I said, once she makes up her mind, it's on. Apple, if it broke below 180, I told you guys, it has nothing stopping it. It has nothing stopping it. And what has Apple done? It has pulled back during the day, and you came in with a gap down. It's done it twice. So, again, just endless opportunity. So, the S&Ps, I have said, because what I do here also is a Sunday weekly watch list, and the important fact that I want you guys to get out of this is I told you this is going to be a volatile week. I just instinctively just felt this week was going to be up and down, and you could get tossed around if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're at work or whatever you're doing during the day, turn us on. We talk about markets all day long. I post my plays. I give you guys a pre-market game plan on top of all that. I tell you guys where I want to get long, where I want to get short, where I'm taking profits, and what is my target, what is my exit, and I try to stick to that. Every day is not going to be a tradable day. All right, you got to find that opportunity. You got to let that opportunity show you that risk is deserved, okay? I was taught you need to earn the right to take the risk as well. So I said Sunday, 507 is our guy. 507 is our support, our resistance, our middleman to the S&P 500. Now, that is not /ES, which is futures. Again, you have to excuse me in my voice. The weather's been really warm. It's getting really cold. So, naturally, it's just that time of year. So, the S&Ps tomorrow, okay, you have this like double, triple, like pivot top. What I want to watch for the S&Ps, I told you 507. So, tomorrow, if we come in, you have to remember we have Powell. So, he is going to be on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. He's also going to be on Thursday. So I think Wednesday we're going to get the most out of him and the most out of the markets moving on the backs of Powell. We still have data. You're coming into Thursday with initial jobless claims. We still have some data. So again, that's why I say, every day it's going to be a whipsaw. So if you're holding positions or trying to hold them overnight, make sure you're doing the best decision. Okay, if you want to ask questions, if you want my thoughts, again, I cannot tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I'll give you my thoughts. All right, I will try to tell you. I'm not going to try, but I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I kind of forgot where I was there, but so when you hold positions overnight, make sure that you're certain that you've gotten either profits off or you just can't. I don't want you guys to get hurt. Don't get yourself hurt. I mentioned Monday, all the people that thought Tesla was going to be long, and I sat back and waited. Last week, guys, we traded Tesla all last week. We traded Tesla, and I'm going to go right back to the SPY. And the reason I'm saying this is because anybody that got long Tesla up here, when was that, Friday? Right? They got sucked into it. They're like, oh, yeah, really nice long, right? Right up into that resistance level. It backed off, and it hung out. Right? It kind of hung out over that 202 area. For anybody that was long for whatever reason, if they didn't look at the volume the prior day, the morning of, and just didn't really do their due diligence, guys, they woke up and got hammered. Not only if they were in options, they had 2-day volatility IV that they had to go through if their options were not out far enough, and then just straight downside. All right, I never got the bounce back Monday. Guys, we were on this. Monday, I was hoping to get that bounce back on Tesla, and I never really got it. I guess, you could say it gave me plenty of opportunity to get in. But, I'm a stickler for my entries because, guys, when I buy right, I lose. It makes me such a better winner that I can pull out, like, whether profits, flat, or just very small down. And that's why if it goes without me, I let it go, right? I move on. There's plenty of opportunity in this market. So think about that. Don't have FOMO unless, you know what you're doing. Okay, if you know the ATR, you're coming in with the, there's all kinds of different scenarios that I could make up. But unless you're really certain that that is going to continue to give you that move, and that number one, the risk is going to be worth the reward. Are you going to put up one to make two at least? I would hope so. If you're going all out on 1-to-1, God bless you, because it may not end well in the long run. Okay, this is the long game. You're playing the long game here. All right. So think about that. Anybody who was long Tesla, they got hurt this week. All right. And that was from Friday coming into this week. So the SPY, 507. I've been screaming it from the rooftops. All right, 507. So tomorrow, it's obviously going to come down to Powell, in my opinion. I want to know. I want to see the questions they ask. Listen, these things are, as we know, the camera is on politicians. They're just going to eat that up, talk about Trump. They're going to talk about everything other than the things that they should be talking about, and that's what's sick about what's going on in the time that we live in. Maybe they've done that for years on end, but I feel like there was a time when they didn't. When business was business, they were there to do a job, and they need to do it. So view it. If you join us tomorrow, we're going to play that live right here on this stream. Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. So 507 I'm going to be watching for. On the upside, I'm going to be watching 510, 509. All right, really 510. Really, I think 510 is our resistance level up here. But this area here, right, 510, 509. So what I can do right here, since we've already broken this area, bang. All right, so that's going to tell me these are little things that I've always done for years to say, hey, this is my area. I don't have to do too much digging around. Do your work before the market's opened. All right. If you're chasing a stock during the day and you don't have levels, those are probably the ones you're not doing so well at. Do the work. Go back over your trades. Record yourself, or at least go back over your trades. All right. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to benefit you, because you're going to see how you felt, what you thought versus what really happened. And you're going to see what did you miss. If you're new at trading, I urge you, ask questions. Like the stream, subscribe so you know when I post. We give out, I try to give you guys ideas that have room. We're very good at that. But it's up to you to execute. Again, we trade live right here, so you can always join us, whether you're at work, pop on YouTube, listen to us. We talk markets all day. And, if you have any questions, feel free to answer them. So tomorrow, and even the rest of the week, guys, I'm going to be watching 507. If we're above and holding, okay, 510. Do we break above it? Do we hold it? What's the volume like? And I'm gonna sit there and walk the market up. If we're below, all right, we have a really nice support level down here at the low of day. 505 has been an area where it's been holding. Okay, it held last week. All right, you have to remember, if you look at a daily chart, don't forget about the big gap up that we came into. All right, there's more, I could go on and on, right? Understanding what I do is I look at the indexes, the Dow, Qs, the SPY, IWM, ARC. Okay, you can use RSP. Now, you need to know that RSP is equally weighted. Okay, so there's no, which I actually have not looked at in just a little bit. I know it did start to pull back, I thought. No, she's still going. And look, RSP is up. It looks to me like it... Did it make an intraday high? No, it didn't. Got close to it, though. So RSP is very close to making an all-time high, but we pulled right back off of it at 163. So that's the equally weighted S&P. So the Qs. Now, the Dow put in a really, really, really nice setup today that I almost traded, but I went after UVXY. Now, as far as those double and triple leveraged ETFs, you guys need to know, you don't want to go in with like a normal position size. It's a way to apply capital. Maybe, I can't say cut it in half, but, you can, let's just say, cut it in half, and, you're able to, deploy less capital and still get the same amount as a regular return. All right. Again, I'd have to do a lesson on that, which we can always do on the live stream if you'd like to learn more about that. But the majority of you guys that are here kind of know about double, triple, not that there's that many of them left, leveraged ETFs. Okay. So the Qs pulled right back into that prior pivot high here, 435, 435.50. I'm sorry, 434.50. 434.50. We came right into the 20-day moving average. I want to see what happens. It's obviously going to depend on Powell, but when we bounce back into the 9 EMA, you can see right here, the 9 EMA has acted as support. All right, you can see here, acted as support, but it broke, and then you gapped up. We have this huge gap here on the Qs and the SPY and the overall markets there that you can see. I'm pretty sure that was a Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, I don't know when it was. It might have been a Thursday. Yeah, it was a Thursday. Look there's our gap. So we do have a gap below us, but there's more gaps below us, but that's the closest gap. Your support level, again, is in this area right here. We'll call it 434. 434.50 to 434, okay? So let me put this in. All right, and this could be you could consider this a double bottom, but we'll see. Again, this is you're having Powell tomorrow, and it's funny that this doesn't surprise me that this happened. All right, run the markets down, get everybody nervous, only to just continue to grind higher. We have a gap above us, we have a gap below us. So what's it going to be? All right, this is a pretty good situation we have here, which is telling us we should get some decent movement. You have a gap up here on the Qs, which starts at 440 and it ends at 444. That's a $4 gap. On the Qs, I'm going to go from this opening price here. And that's 434 down to 425. It's a pretty big gap. So it looks like if you catch a bounce, the trade would be to the downside, right? That's where the meat on the bone is. All right, so the Qs have a nice setup here. If you cannot regain, all right, I'm going to look to see, do we regain 439 or do we continue to make that resistance? Now on a 5-minute chart, we can zoom in here a little bit. You notice how I just zoomed in and the Qs did not do that craziness like the other ones did? I need to know why. So you did have you did put in a small double top there for 439.80. But I'm going to look for this area. I think you need to at least make this pivot low here. Resistance. You know, you wicked, but that's not enough price action, in my opinion. So I'm watching, again, 439, 438. It's about $1 wide resistance area, okay? That is the Qs. Now, what I was telling you is understanding, you know, the overall markets. What sectors are strong, which ones are weak, okay? So this is the overall markets. We had a nice pullback day. You had a nice pullback in Bitcoin, some of your crypto names. I got short some crypto. I got short Coinbase. We'll get into that yesterday. I ended up getting out of that trade very quickly, a little bit longer than I wanted to because I was limit ordering out of options and they were a little bit wide, so it took me a minute to get out. But no harm, no foul, right? I entered correctly, so it did not hurt me at all whatsoever. I was actually profitable on that trade, but very small. And, you know, getting out was a little bit of a problem. I would have been better off market ordering out. So, one more time, the Qs, 439, all right? Our middleman for the Qs, you know, you don't really have it. It's not really like the SPY. We're just stuck in this range here. You're in a range from 434, 439. What's it going to be? Do we break whichever side we break out of? Remember, you have a gap on both ends of both sides of the trade, to the downside, to the upside. All right. Now the Dow put in a really nice setup, and I did not trade it. All right. Now I watch for, I guess you could say divergence, right? Like, really, it's what sector is like blue chips for the Dow. Are they leading? Are they lagging? This setup here was really nice. This rejection yesterday, double top up here. You know, I almost took that trade yesterday, but I didn't. I didn't take that trade because of Coinbase. I think, let's see, today's Tuesday, correct? Yes. So I did, you know, I kind of was like, look, let's just, because I told you guys in the beginning of the week, I said, I'm going to crush this week. If you don't have faith in me, that's okay because I have faith in myself. I'm telling y'all, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, this week is going to end well for me. Will you be there? The Dow, nice pullback in the Dow. It's actually down 1%, a little over 1%. All right, so this is telling you, all right, in a sense, what sectors, as in what names, right, are giving you weakness and strength. IWM, in my opinion, not really down so much, but yes, it was down 1%. It was more so that gap fill that got you. All right, so that's the IWM. I haven't been trading the IWM so much. It's just hanging out up at that previous high. I'm not really sure what she wants to do. If she wants to hold here, we'll look for this area, that 9 EMA, to become support. If it doesn't, and what you do have here, I need to get better at these. You guys, I do want to say, I am going to start editing some videos and, making things a lot quicker instead of the live streams. But again, it's just me here. That's why I ask and I urge you guys, hit that like button, subscribe. It's going to help someone else find us. It's going to help me by finding them, and everything can be good. You are putting in a flag here, so I did measure this move out. If we do get long-term upside, I was looking for 230. It looks like a pretty big move, but I think that it's something that we could do. And I put it here because that's where it started, right? You had this bounce, and that's a really, I like to start from where the rally starts. Okay, where the rally starts. It doesn't, to me, that didn't start here. It started there, right? It did have a pullback there, but the trend really wasn't broken because you went up here, consolidated, pulled back, and then it picked its direction. So we'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens there with the IWM. Is this another failed break? The 50 days coming on up. Oh, I want to tell you guys too, the Qs. Okay, the Qs also have the 50-day moving average coming up right up into that level. All right, maybe it wasn't the IWM. It's definitely a stock that I'm going to bring up though. All right, 20-day moving average for them. So IWM, so the market's pulled back today. All right, that's why I was long UVXY. Again, that was a 12-cent entry. I know I took profits at 17 cents. And another one at it was like the first profit. I took half off at 15 cents. It got up into that $20 area. So about a 75. So it was probably about a 75% gain, maybe 80. Again, I'll have to go back and look to see the percentage on that. It gave me what I was looking for. I got paid. I paid myself. You got to take it. Okay. It's not yours until you take it. Remember that. It's not yours until you take it. All right, so the IWM, you have the 9 EMA here. If you break this level, the IWM also has a gap. And we'll look at this setup here. All right, you have a little bit of a pullback. Let's say you bounce. Say if we get a little bounce tomorrow. Again, Powell. Don't forget Powell. You still have data, initial jobless claims. You still have a lot more data. So I said it Sunday. I just want to reiterate, this market is going to throw you around if you don't know what you're doing. But I want to just keep it simple and say what I would look for if we broke is that 20-day. That 20-day moving average to try and work its way up into that 202, really 203 area. And then do we hold it or bounce? Or do we hold it or break it? Okay, that's that green line there. Maybe you consolidate, throw the 50-day moving average up there as well. Sorry, I know it's a little blocked there. I have to remember. All right, so that's the markets, right? We pulled back. Keep in mind, I want you guys to keep a couple things in mind today. All right? AMD closing at the high of day. All right, semiconductors once again very strong. Was this because of SMCI? I'm not sure. It's just the sector has strength. So markets are down, semis are up, market gets a bounce. We're long semiconductors. If that's what it's going to show us, unless there's going to be some divergence there, right? Just keeping these things in mind. And I have a couple more that I'm going to show you where the market's pulled back, and I'm going to show you a couple sectors that were green. So if the market gets a bounce, you want to look to stay with that strength. All right. If we're weak, there's you want to stay where the weakness is. So I want you guys to realize that, I know it's going to see here that they were down. Why? That's a one-day performance. Let me refresh this. Okay, so as far as from the close, so this looks like things were down. AVGO, Broadcom, they do have earnings, I think, Thursday afternoon. Um, this morning, the watch list, guys, which semiconductors were strong, but the watch list, I do want to reiterate just because so I don't forget it. I gave you guys Microsoft. I gave you guys Microsoft this morning. All right. I gave out Microsoft, one of the top plays today. Look what she did. She did the move in one day, guys. You could have been out of this trade before lunchtime. Nobody was talking about Microsoft. It puts in a double top here. This was a beautiful trade. All right. I was in UVXY. What happened was Microsoft, I came back on Microsoft a little late. All right. Now, I am going to fix, I have already set up to help keep myself to look at the 4 to 5 names that I really like and keep them on my watch. That's where I've been struggling with, right? You know, you guys know that have been here from the beginning that I had, you know, what you'll see is when you join us, you know, this would be the trade that I'm in, so I can have an idea of my entries, my exits, what we're doing, and you know, the daily 15, 5 or 3 in 1 minute, right? 1 minute's really for volume, and the 1 minute's really for my entry and exits. But nice double top up here. This level is a known level of resistance, and Microsoft has been paying. It's actually been moving, and nobody's talking about it, right? We traded it here. We traded it last week. So anyway, this was a big move, guys. We gave it out verbatim on the list. 414, 415 rejection. We're looking for 410, we're looking for 412 to break. What we're really looking for 410 to break. Profits through that 410, or as we get into 410, targets 404, 402. And you can look at them levels right through there. All right. I did delete some of the dotted lines, so you'll see dotted lines were the entries. So when you see dotted lines on my screen, these are entries and exits. Dotted lines are entries and exits. That's where I want to look to get in, where I want to look to take profit, and the final target. So you'll usually see 3 of them on a move. All right, so I gave that out this morning. All you guys, again, just join us bright and early in the morning. We go through the plays. We go through some names. We look at big cap tech. We look at news, and then we'll go across small cap. It's exactly what we did. So that was Microsoft. And again, remember, semiconductors really strong, right? AMD closing up near the highs. See how it's doing this, but the Qs didn't? It randomly does it. I don't know. And look, she's holding. So I'm going to look for that previous high. All right. We'll look for that previous high up here at 210. All right. Obviously, that's going to be an area of resistance. Okay. It's an area of resistance. Now, you know, you didn't get much out of them today if you tried to trade them. That's why it's important to, you know, really know where the spots are in the market. Okay, Bitcoin's moving. We want to look at Coinbase, Robinhood, BITO, which is Bito, ARKB. Like, you know, you want to look at those crypto names if you're in the equity markets, or trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, trade them outright. Tomorrow we'll look to see what happens with those highs and if this rally holds. I want to see if the market pulls back tomorrow, if Nvidia, SMCI. Now, SMCI is different. SMCI, which also helps this sector, obviously, if they start to, you know, kind of separate themselves from the market, okay, kind of like Tesla. Tesla kind of just does its own thing. Now, SMCI has its own catalyst being introduced to the S&P 500. Again, opportunity. There's just a lot going on. So, does this move get taken back? All right? Do we try to make another run? Does it start to pull back? You know, I want to see what we do tomorrow and into Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if we stay kind of flat. You know, we get a little bounce up to highs. Maybe you break through the highs a little bit and it pulls back. Okay, you had some nice volume that came in there at the end of the day. Of course, it came in at the end of the day with the markets as well. So there's your second, how do I say this? You know, it's telling you, right? When the market, like the SPY or the Qs, okay, the end of the day, look at the volume that came in, right? See how the market, look at that volume, bang, right? and we reclaimed 507. Well, look at Nvidia. This is your sign, right? If the markets are going to go higher, look at semis. That was your sign right there. So what do we look for a week? I've told you guys in the beginning of the week, obviously Apple. I even put up a questionnaire that said Apple to 160. I think it was like 160, 165. I think it was 165. So if I take you guys to a daily chart here on Apple, you're going to see this serious resistance level, support resistance level. We're at this 170 right now. I'm telling you guys right now, if 170 breaks, you have that little pivot low there, but really the main level for Apple is 155. You got to watch that 155, but that's an extreme like gap between the 200 150. Is it the setup? You know, I mean, that is let's just see, right? From the 200-day moving average, you know, that's going to be, 15%, nearly 15.5% away from the 200-day. So I would expect a bounce back when you start to get down to this level. There's got to be some nibblers, right? As it goes down, people are going to nibble on the buy side. All right. But point being, if the markets continue to be weak, okay, look for the names that are pulling back. Microsoft, again, all of them. Megacap Tech has been pulling back. Microsoft was the name. 50-day moving average is rolling up. This is about the only one that I've seen, because I haven't looked at much of them other than a couple of the big tech names. But your 50 days moving right up in there. Do we get a rejection? Your 20-day and 90 MA are right there above your close at 409.50, 410. Okay. Do we get a bounce tomorrow? I want to look for Microsoft. I'm going to tell you right now. If Microsoft cannot get back above 408, all right, 408, really, I like to stay in the range, and I've said it. Dude, the range is simple. Play the range. Give yourself some time if you play options, all right? 398 is the bottom end, and 415, 412, right? That's the top range. Really, it's 415 to 398. That's a huge move for Microsoft, and you'll get days like this where it's a home run, where it does it in an hour and a half. You could have had this today. All right, so play the range, keep it simple, don't fight the trend, make sure you have some volume, know the ATR. If it's a stock that's going to move $8 and it's already moved $5 or $6, is it worth putting on risk for an extra $2, $3? Probably not. All right, but that stuff takes time. So semiconductors are strong. Mega caps pulling back. We can look at Amazon real quick and a couple others, but I wanted to get through this. Kind of flat today. Not too much going on. Just pulled right back in the range. So what I would look for out of Amazon is to test the top side of the range that it was in here at 175, right? 175, 176. Look for that rejection. See if you can pull it back into 170. I'm saying it right now. All right. Now, if you reclaim and start to hold 175, it's probably not a trade yet. All right. You had to have been short up at 180, right? On that, look at that tail, right? So that's telling you there's probably a reversal happening. You do have, and I've said this too, what do you have there? You have a descending wedge, or an ascending wedge. That's a bearish reversal pattern. That's a indication of a reversal. All right, I haven't looked at Google or Meta. You know, I can look into them real quick because it's the overall markets, and that's what we're going to cover right now. Had a nice bounce to the 200-day. Do we get a rejection at the 200-day depending on where we open up tomorrow? Depends on the market being green or not. Guess what? Google was green on the day. All right, it did come in with a gap down. Technically, it's going to tell you that it was red, but on the day, it did finish green on lower volume. Keep the volume in mind. All right, got to watch what Powell says. If we pan this out, it's important. You want to look at the bigger picture, just like Apple. All right, if Google gets back to down to 125, that makes sense, right? So don't be scared. When the market gives you these pullbacks, don't be scared. Maybe you take a little bit out your pocket. Maybe you own a little bit of assets at a discounted price for the long term. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you some of the things that I do. All right, so you have another section right here at 130. So a test at 130 is probable. All right, doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to happen this week. But if Google decides to get up to this area, right? Gets back up to that 100-day moving average, this area up here. All right, who's to say we don't reject? And then finally get back down to like a support level it's looking for, right down to 127. I just drew that for you. Keep it in mind. All right, the 100-day moving average. You can pull it up on a daily chart. 139. All right, 139 area. Now listen, depending on how long it takes, you have to picture what are these moving averages going to do in coordination of what the stock does. So if this is going to bounce, chances are you'll start to get these moving averages to pull back to it. It's going to start counting in all the other prices. So understand what they even mean. How do they move? If you know how they move, you can start to track it. So chances are, look at this. If that's that support area, this would make sense to see if the 100-day gets into this area here at 138. You know, not saying it's going to, but, you know, just have an understanding, okay? All right, that was Google, Meta. Now I'm going to bring up Meta in a little bit for a reason here. Same thing, somewhat of an ascending wedge, showing you to an extent an ascending wedge, which is what? A bearish reversal pattern. That is a trend reversal. That is a sign of a trend reversal possible. Okay, Meta's been very strong. I would not look to short it. You know, really you got to be careful. You know, there are shorts there, but it's not a long-term play there. Maybe you scalp it. This looks like a really nice support level for Meta. Some people might get, you know, that's 2 days to the downside, and what's it do? Curve. 2 days down, starts to curve up. 2 days down, curves up. All right. So that's Meta. This area here looks like a really nice support level that you broke through, and all you're doing is pulling back to test these prior resistance levels. So watch the volume. Was it on an increase in volume? You know, chances are the probability, if it's on an increase in volume through that resistance level, chances are that resistance level is going to turn back into resistance, not support. Okay, that's Meta. We'll go through Netflix real quick. I think I covered all of mega cap tech and the overall markets there. We'll talk more about Coinbase and stuff like that, some of those trades and what I'm looking for. Give you guys what I'm looking for as trades, but want to move on with the session. Again, I appreciate you guys, anyone tuning in. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. I urge you, hit the like button, subscribe, try to make this video viral because it's going to find someone that would like to be here, that could learn and benefit from. All right, you guys got to understand, you guys help me just as much as I try to help you. All right, I do right by helping you guys do right. I want to be a role model to someone trying to build their net worth and learn how to trade and trade correctly. Okay? And you would help me do that. More so, there are plans that I would like to have here to be able to eventually have a few traders come join me and have a studio. All right, that is my ultimate goal here, to help others and to be able to have a studio and a fully functional trading place. I think, you know, I've got over 10 years in this game. You know, it took me a little while to do a stream or to, you know, come out and do stuff like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Netflix, same thing, right? You're seeing a common theme here, right? We broke out, we're pulling back into resistance. So let's see what tomorrow brings. We'll game plan for Thursday and Friday. I had a really nice trade on UVXY. I'll bring that up and we'll go into the next UVXY. All right, so this is going to be a little tough. All right, this is going to be a little tough. Let me see here. Let's see if I can do this. I'm not sure where. Oh, 2022. All right. Sorry, gang. It's a little tough here. All right. So, again, you see how this chart is. Make sure you know what you're doing. Okay. Really nice trade today. Really nice trade. Again, this is double leveraged. She was up 6%, just under 6%, y'all. Just under 6%. And we nearly caught the bottom on this thing. So, we'll go to a 3-minute chart. No, what I want to do is go to an hourly chart real quick for you. All right, so you guys can see. I think a half hour would be better. Yeah, 15-minute. I apologize. I got to figure out why my charts are doing this. Yeah, I got to figure out why they're doing this. All right, so you guys can see here, and I'm going to make it easier to see. You guys can see here, clear, pretty clear support there, right? Once we broke through this pivot low, right here, all right, with what? with volume. With volume. Now, UVXY is going to trade a little different. There's a nice double bottom there. That's the level we are bumping into with resistance. Here's what I also noticed during the day and why I held, but I also managed risk by when we bumped up in here. All right, when we bumped into this area the first time, again, this trade was over 100% from our entry. All right, you could have got in a lot lower, but you had to have been looking at it before me. Up here, literally a test that double top. Into that test of that double top is when I took half my position off, but I left it. I felt very confident with this trade. If we broke down, right, we broke down below $7, I would have said, hey. And again, depending on where my P&L, not necessarily trading my P&L, but where the contracts were, because I know Coinbase, I had a very, very, very small loss that I am going to crush this week. I'm telling you right now. So come join us. We started to break below that level, and depending on where my contracts were, again, I know when I'm in a trade on options, you guys got to understand, I know how much I'm going to lose and how much I'm going to make roughly, depending on how fast that stock's moving, how slow it's moving. It doesn't take me long. I know the Greeks. I know how to manage risk. I know how to read a chart. I have a game plan. I try, and I talk you guys through these things. A lot of times you guys will see me market order in, I'll limit order out. Sometimes I'll limit order in and I'll limit order out. And I try to show you guys when things bumping into resistance and some of these options, you think, yeah, they should be coming down, but really the spread will widen because the market, I don't want to say the market makers, but what they'll do is they'll spread that spread will get wider in hopes that when you try to go short, you're paying more. Okay. And, these are a lot of things that happen that you don't see if you don't, do these things. I see it because I will limit order in. I think it was, you guys remember the news with Coinbase. That was the day when I got short very early. Beautiful trade last week when that news came out. I forget what it was. Coinbase pulls back, right? I was in it from 30 cents. And then I'm in this thing for a while, and I'm looking for like a test of the prior day's close, or like just to get down into that area. And I noticed when we gapped up, when we bounced to test that trade line to make it resistance, they made the spreads wide. The ask went higher, bumped up the bids, so people had to pay more, to get in that name because of the volatility, this, that, the third. So know what you're doing. Anyway, long story short, I took half my profit off, literally right there on that candle, right there off of that double top. What I thought was going to be a possible double top bear flag, or not a bear flag, but a bull flag start to form here and consolidate. Why did I stay in the trade? Because one, we're not below $7. I'm still profitable. The trade's still up because I have my entry correct. You guys saw me wait for this entry. Okay. Now, the time factor. You're just sitting here not moving, and I'm watching the SPY, obviously, watching the VIX, watching the markets. And then I turned back later in the day. I think it was right there. It wasn't at the end of the day, so man, these things probably paid a lot more. So they went over 100%, like way over 100% then, because up here is where I like right here, right? It was like right here on that pullback right there. I was off at like 18 cents, and then it went again, and I was watching it at this time here, and those things went up to 20. It was like 24 to 22 ask and bid, 22 ask, 22 cent bid. We got in around that 11. It was 11 cent bid, 12 cent ask. So, and then look, it gave you that. So I stopped watching it after that run. I'm like, there you go. That was an opportunity. So that's some nice meat on the bone there. That was my trade of the day today. A lot of the names kind of just got away from me, like Tesla, right? Tesla kind of got away from me. I wasn't sure what she was going to do. I said if we broke this level here, and it's all written down, 182, I said if we get back into that area and can't get above it, I'll look to get short. I literally almost took it right there on that break of VWAP, and I said, no, let me not do that. And guess what? I'm kind of glad I didn't, because where do I want to be short? I want to be short up here. This is not going with the game plan. The game plan is not short at 180.50. So I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Now, something happened with the stream today. It got cut off at a random time. like late in the afternoon, so I do apologize. I did go on Twitter. If anything happens to the stream, guys, or anything happens, you guys can find me at Twitter at Ivy League Trades. Same profile picture as right here on YouTube. Anyone here that's just joining us, if you could do us a solid, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. We get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't have to say it anymore, but I desperately, as a goal, want to get to 1,000 subscribers and try to help as many traders out there as I can. So that's not the plan, right? There's a lesson there. That's not the plan. The plan is if we get back up to this pivot low here, up at 182, and we can't break above it, like, okay, this could have been an entry, right? Not on the first test. You don't want that major reversal. Like, you're taking back more than half of that down move, and you've already fallen a lot, okay? And knowing that on the hourly chart and even 4-hour, wherever you want to look, daily, whatever, which I'm going to go to, this area, I told you guys this morning, was a buy point. Watch out. 176, 180, okay? This was a buying point here. A lot of people thought it was here. I mean, this was here long before, like, this box here was here, back here at this inverse head and shoulders. But now we've turned that area into resistance. Now I do want to see if we can break 176. I want to show you guys something here. You guys see this line here? You guys see this? Whoever's here is going to really like this one. You guys are going to really like this one. All right, you guys see that line? Guess what? She goes right into where? I'm going to show you guys something. You guys are going to like this. All right? You guys are going to really like this. What do we have here? You guys see this? You guys see that? All right? I know this area very well. Why do I know that area? Because I got long on that day right there, on the reversal, for a few reasons. That's a whole nother lesson. We've caught these reversals many times. It doesn't mean that it couldn't have just left here and fell down. It could have rallied a little bit back up here to 144, 145, and then fell. Doesn't matter. I caught the reversal back in January. I even know the month without looking, because I remember what I was doing. I was entering it on the highway, with nobody around. Not anything reckless. Like, I was just waiting for it, and we got it. Or I was taking profit. I think I took some profits on the highway. I can't remember. Either way, not important. So this goes right to where? Literally right into the middle of the gap fill. What is that? This is the flagpole. That is the move. That is the move with this huge bear flag off of this pivot 210, 220, or 200 level. That is like your middleman here. You can see resistance, resistance, resistance. It's an area, right? It holds its support. Then it's trading on the top side of it. Now, are we going to start trading on the bottom end of 200? Look at the whole picture, okay? Keep the whole picture in mind. Look at this area. Support, support, right? Support. And what do we have down here, guys? Why is it okay to trade below here? We have no price action there. You have like 2 to 3, you have like 3 months worth of price action down at this whole area. Okay, you got a little bit more, all right? You got a little bit more time with when we revisited it. I'm wondering if we're going to have this again, where the China talks, they're not selling cars. Remember this move here? I was short like 2, 3, 4 times. I think it was like 3 times I was short in that span. Right? Beautiful. Beautiful trades. Caught the reversal. This was one of the best reversals, by the way, which this same reversal here is the same reversal that got us Oxy. That was the other play today. I almost forgot. I took 2 trades today. Oxy Petroleum. All right, that was the other one. So Oxy gave us the reversal, okay? Literally right here, and it's all live, fully recorded right there. We took that reversal candle, and look what it gave us. All right, there's a reason why, because I know how to read a chart. There's technical analysis is telling you, hey, a trend reversal is about to break and happen. Anyway, so I am going to keep watching Oxy. It didn't finish up so hot. I felt like Exxon was doing a little bit better. Now, they are 2 different sectors. So if you are looking at energy, look at this inverse head and shoulders here on Exxon. Okay? If you start to get above the 200-day moving average, guys, look for Exxon to hold. Okay, maybe I should put, I'm going to make this a box. I'm going to make it a box because it's an area, and I need, I know it's the 200-day. All right, it's the 200-day moving average, so we're going to look for Exxon And if energy can start to, go a little bit higher, and what else does that help? Right? If energy starts to go higher, what else does that help? That can help out gold. Okay, gold, and we're going to talk about that. Let me do this real quick. I'm sorry. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't do it on your time. I need to do it on my time. But I don't want to forget about this. If you were with me, if you guys are new here, I said in the beginning of the week, I will not let opportunity go by me anymore. I'm going to write it down and I'm not going to forget about it. Why? Because Wednesday, if you were with us and you listened to me, I told you about gold Wednesday of last week, that's where I wanted to buy gold, and look what it's doing. We could already be taking profits, not entering. All right, I'm not in gold. I haven't entered it because it got away from me. Because I did not write it down. I did not see it morning, lunch, and dinner. Keep it on your mind. This is a beautiful pattern. Beautiful pattern here at 105. Look to see if we start to make 105 support, that 200-day moving average really on XOM. All right, you pulled back. You regained it. Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday is going to be the telltale sign for Exxon, in my opinion. All right, maybe I need to do a little more work on that. But anyway, Oxy was the other trade today. I want to keep it moving. I don't want to make this very long. Okay, so, because there's still a little bit that I want to get into. I feel like I lost. Where are we at here? Oh, shit, already an hour. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Exxon was the other trade. We'll cover that real quick. All right, so let's do this. We'll do this. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, breakout, 200-day. This is an ascending wedge. I took this trade off. This was the trade right here. VWAP. This right here. It wasn't much. That was the trade. If you guys can't see it, it was this test of VWAP. Now, what'll look better is if I do this for you without pre-market. You guys can see here this test of VWAP right there. All right, right there was that test of VWAP. Nice little play, $40. Or I'm sorry, it was the $60 puts. 60 50s for this week. 60 50. I don't know why there's so many on here. Nope. It was the 60s. I'm sorry, it was the 60s. It was the 60s. It's a really nice trade. 62. I'd have to look in my broker. I'm pretty sure it was the 60s because we got close to 61 and we got into 61 and it changed. I remember that. All right, so that was the other trade of the day. Was Oxy Petroleum. This thing is, we're going to find out. Keep these on your list, all right? Keep these on your list. These are ideas. I know it's a little messy, all right? It's a little messy there. With all my lines, I got to clean it up, I know. But plain and simple, this level here is an area that I want to see. It couldn't get above there and hold unless it did. This is the level I'm watching. It's $60.50 to $60. All right, that's the level I want to see hold. You have this double, like this pivot high here, and you can see it comes down into it, down into it, down into it a little bit further, and then it breaks it. So this area I want to see, are we just going to make that resistance again? It looks like, I want to start to see this thing start to curl itself up higher and start to either break out or test this trend line here at 62.50 and reject it. Something. Give me something. All right. It's not moving. You know what I think personally between me and you? I'm wondering if we can get a buyout. This is a long flag. UNH did the same thing and it just broke down. Either we're going to break down or you may hear about a buyout and we could get this thing. I'm kind of being patient on it. All right, I might play both sides of this trade because, look, we have nothing stopping us. Once you break 54, and especially if you break 52.50, let me tell you, this thing has nothing stopping it getting back down to 40. Nothing stopping it. Nothing. Look, nothing. Nothing in that whole area. All right, same for the upside. If you can break out, you have a little consolidation up here. All right, you have a little consolidation up at those highs. But if we break out through those highs and can't get through it, I will take it short. But still, I think if we break out, it's because Warren Buffett does a buyout. All right, I think it's because Warren Buffett does a buyout, in my personal opinion. All right, keep it moving. All right, so we talked about that. All right, talked about the markets. Semiconductors. We talked about crypto. We'll go into Coinbase real quick. I'll give you guys some of my ideas for Coinbase. All right. Coinbase, keep an eye on Bitcoin. Yeah, these charts are getting out of hand. I do apologize. Right now, Coinbase is pulling right back into... It's pulling right back into the upper end of this support zone. Okay, you broke through the gap. All right, I thought, and I still feel like if Bitcoin's going to go, we have room to 260. Okay, we have room to 260 if this thing's going to keep going. Okay, so that's that. 260 level on Coinbase. You're pulling back right now. You also you don't have much price action. Keep that in mind too. There's not much price action in here. You have a little bit right here, but the higher you go, the less there is. So that's just more room for a continuation trade. And that's what we look for. At least that's what I look for. Am I going into an area where there's just a lot of chop? I don't want that. I want to go in. I want to break down or break up and out into an area where there's not much price action. And I know I got some volume. Dude, it's like huge trade. That's what I'm looking for right now. Why am I looking for that? Because a lot of these names are setting up that way. It's just the way the charts are set up. They're all over the place. You just have to find them. And my thesis, like my game plans, are going to trade or change. All right. Maybe when premiums get high again, if we start to get there, I might start selling spreads. Okay. It's all upon the market and the cycle. Okay. Well, you also have to be you have to be diverse. You want to be able to have a little bit of small cap action that you can make your money in small caps if the opportunity presents itself. Mid caps, if you trade some options or you buy the stock outright. But if you play options, you want to learn how to be able to trade those stocks that are a little bit spready. You want to learn how they work. Mega cap, you want to go to mega cap. They're real liquid when they're moving. You know what you're doing. So it's really, you got to be versatile. It does nothing but help you. All right, helps you for the long game. All right, so we're going to look for that pivot high at 213.35. I got the sad part is I got short. And that's okay. It was a very, very small loss. I wasn't quite able to get some profits off on the first time that it gave it to me, but it's all good. We made that back with UVXY, no biggie. It happens, right? So you're just, again, you have a consolidation here. If it continues to hold, this is Coinbase. What is going on here? I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to make this quick. Coinbase. Dude. Sorry, guys. All right. Anyway. What is this? 212.50. 212.50. You have a nice support zone at 215. You're putting in a bit of a double bottom here. Okay, if I put up a 15-minute chart. Let's throw this in real quick. And oh my goodness, if they weren't talking crazy on Bloomberg about the Tuesday, Super Tuesday. Okay, so look at it. You see a little bit of a different picture, don't you? Right? Look at that resistance. Tomorrow, I want to see what we do down at 210. I'm telling you right now, Coinbase gets down into 210. What's she going to do? All right? This is a level here as well. It's at like, it's at like 205. All right, 210, 205. But this level here, I want to know what she does at that level on Coinbase. Okay, I want to see what she does if we get there. Okay, am I going to be a buyer? What's Bitcoin going to do? I'm going to be watching Bitcoin. All right. I did know, I haven't done any anchored VWAPs. But, look, it breaks out, pulls back, it puts in a double bottom, it just consolidates for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Bang. Pull back, consolidate. Is the trend still here and they're just trying to throw everybody off? I wouldn't be surprised. That's my opinion. Because I don't think we have really anything other than the separation from mega cap tech that's separating us. The signs and, what are the reasons that we're going to, have a massive sell-off. All right, banks are okay. Banks actually were very strong today. Keep that in mind. If we get a bounce in the market, look for banks. Even regionals were really strong today. So that's what I'm going to look for on Coinbase. So we're starting to bounce. Do we hold 220? Does this level regain? You can see here it's kind of walking itself up. Right? It's starting to walk itself up. Do you get a quick pullback into the close? Do we, if we come in with a little gap up, do we, are we going to pull back to 220, or are we going to continue to reject 225? It all depends on Bitcoin. All right, you have a little bit of a double top here. All right, if you go to the daily chart, you're just really extended away from, your moving averages there. All right, so that is Coinbase. That's the area I'm watching. 212.50. All right, 212.50, and there's prior highs. I'm gonna let it tell me what she wants to do. If we, we'll see. We'll see if it holds. We'll see if we're gonna get short the bounces. If Bitcoin is continued weak, like if for some reason we wake up and Bitcoin's way down for whatever reason, then obviously I would expect Coinbase to be below 213, 212.50, and then I would look for that area to be my resistance short, and then I got a trade from 214. What is that? So is it 212.50 or is it what level is this? So it's like 213. So that 212.50 to 213, I'm going to look to get short up there, and you have a gap. You have somewhat of a small gap there too. But either way, I'm going to look for this to be the range. All right, we get a bounce back. We can't. We break. We come in with a gap down. We can't get above yet today's close. This is the area I'm going to look for the trade. I'm going to look to take it back down to 195. That's a nice trade from 220 or 217 to 190, 197, 196, 195. I'm sorry. So 195 to 218 area. I know I'm throwing out numbers, but 218 short. If we can get that down to 219. I'm not sure what she wants to do. She could consolidate. We'll find out. It's all on Powell. So you can look at names like Mara, Robinhood, if you don't want to trade Coinbase. Now, Robinhood was really, in my opinion, kind of traded a little bit different than Coinbase because I was watching it today. All right. These are ideas only. It's up to you to execute. If you have questions, just let me know in the chat. Say hi. As long as you hit the like button and subscribe, that's all I care, because that's going to help someone else out. Flat bottom support down here, guys. Does this support break on Robinhood? 1560. You have nothing really in your way from $14 to 1558. This is this is what I'm talking about. These are the moves that I want because I'm going to get what? Follow through. Look at that volume profile. What's it showing you? If you don't know how to read this, this is showing you that there's no volume here. There's no volume in this area. All right? There's no volume in that area. Okay? So if we can continue to keep the weakness going, I'm going to look for the pullbacks, and these are the moves I want. I would love a move from 1560 to 1425. Shoot. That's a big trade, you guys. That's probably a triple-digit, double-digit gain right there. But I'm not going to talk hypotheticals until we break this level. All right, until we break 1575 and turn it into resistance with some volume, it may not do it yet. Look at the volume. Look at the volume that came in at the end of the day. But what's helping me with this is the fact that the after hours continued to be weak. So I'm going to have to look for news. All right, I got to look and see what type of news is going on here. This was a really nice look. Pre-market low. Right, you came down, you broke it, you got up into the area, you hit it after hours, and then it completely rejected. All right, so where do we come in at tomorrow? You can see there's some points down here. You did get down to 1575. So depending on where we are, do we look for the bounce into yesterday's close, get that entry at 1590, $16, yeah, like 1590 into that 16 area. All right, I would like that $16 mark. That's what I would like, 16 bucks. All right, we get up there, bang, and then we look for the break. You guys probably can't see it. I do apologize. I think I lost power. Oh, no. I hope I didn't lose power. Shit. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm not sure if I lost power. I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't lose power. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the moves of the day. So that's crypto. Join us again in the morning, okay? CrowdStrike. Huge move. Keep these in mind, all right? The market prices in what? The market priced in $37.37 move. Okay? So, what does she do? She comes in. She closes right here, right around 297, and right now she's at 369. So double what they thought. Whoever has calls is probably going to make some money tomorrow. All right, that's what you want to find out. What's the market pricing in? You got to get above it. The farther are you above what they're pricing in, the better off you are. Okay, they beat bottom and top. CrowdStrike did very well. This whole sector, okay, has done very well. I will be looking to play these sectors tomorrow. Okay, Zscaler, okay, is one of them. Zscaler was actually one that I wanted to be short back when they gave earnings. This day right there. It was on a Friday, I'm pretty sure. I remember. Yes, this was a Friday. All right. I told everyone in chat. You know what I said? I said that the day before, I can't remember. I think they were pricing in 12, 15, or 20 or something. Anyway, the point is what they were pricing in. Zscaler didn't do it. So I said, okay, it opens up. I said, let's see if we can't get that move. All right. And it did. You know, it pulled back right into that 214. I was looking for like 212, 200, or not 200, but 212. And, you know, this was still been a nice trade. I was looking to short it. So that was one that I called out last week. You know, these are just some ideas, but I want to start to look at, you know, Zscaler, Palo Alto. Okay. Let's look at the daily chart. Let's come up with a game plan right now. Look at that area. All right. But look, let's first do this. Zscaler, look where it's at. Okay, you're down here, right, middle of the pack, right? Let's go look at Palo Alto. Their earnings weren't too hot. Actually, you know, earnings weren't hot, but you know they did pull back. But still, that's a little bit better than Zscaler, right? Palo Alto never pulled back like that. It's been strong for all last year, and I knew this. If you start to see trends in stocks that are just going higher and higher, stick with them. The best thing you have is your stop loss. Or like, you know, the thing that you have, your upper hand in the markets, is that you can control how much you lose. You know, you give it the room that you, in accordance to the chart. If it goes without you, let it go. But if it comes back or sets back up for an entry, take it. Understand, hey, I'm going to risk this amount. If it gets to my stop loss, no big deal. I try again or I move on. Okay, you wait again. Maybe it just wasn't right. Because if this thing has been going up all year, literally all year, you just had to buy the dips. All right, so that's Palo Alto, Zscaler. I guess you could look at names like Net. We can trade CrowdStrike itself as well. CrowdStrike is up in the no man's land, so you'll have to be prepared to trade CrowdStrike. All right, you got to know how to trade those. How do you trade a stock that has no price action in that area? I can teach you that tomorrow. It's not there's not like one set in stone way to do it, but there are a lot of signs that you could tell. So you can see Cloudflare Net kind of sitting right around Zscaler. So if we're going to get upside, then we want to look at Palo Alto, in my opinion. Okay, it is as far as the chart, okay, and what it's been doing, the pullbacks have worked, and it's holding 289. So tomorrow we'll see where Palo Alto is in accordance to what Zscaler is doing, and we'll look to see if we can't get ourselves a dip buy. All right, maybe the trade sets up, maybe it doesn't. We do have Powell again, but I think with this catalyst, this is a catalyst that could separate itself from whatever market does and what Powell does, unless it's something really severe. Unless the market doesn't like it, then you could see everything tank. All right, GLD. All right, the sad thing is, which one thing I'm not doing again, is letting these trades go. What happens is I see them, I mention it, I'm bringing it up to you guys during the day, during the watch list, and then for some reason I'll forget about them. I put everything that I have that last week, literally last week, when I talked about this, we broke out, we consolidated, and this day right here, it was like a Wednesday, Thursday, right there, and then you got the gap up, I forgot about it, bang, Friday. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I forgot. So you know what I do now? I make sure I don't forget. I write it down. I put it on my forehead, whatever I got to do to not forget about that setup that I think is starting to work out. You know, that's it. All right, that's it. So gold's going higher. See where she goes. Watch gold in particular in conjunction with GLD. All right, we went over CrowdStrike, and we'll talk more about that. Solar names. There was some talk. This is also another opportunity. All right, opportunity is everywhere. First Solar CEO was talking about tariffs. He wants them to get rid of tariffs so that they can bring cheap material onto the surface to be able to, kind of help them being profitable. All right, so that's FSLR. Okay, guess what? These names were also green today. They were green. The market pulled back, but these names were green. 50-day, 100-day, all right here. So if you look here at this 155 level, all right, I haven't done a full analysis on this, but as of right now, I'm kind of leaning both ways. See this here. If we can start to get, the higher we go, the better. The higher we go, the better. I want to see what happens here. I want to see where we open up at tomorrow. Okay, I want to see, tomorrow's price action, where we open, and then I want to start to look to say, hey, are we going to get the short on this name? Because we could take this thing back down to 139.50, okay, which could be a nice trade. And obviously I would like to try and get that short up there at 160, 150. But I want to see what's going on here. They were green today, but I want to show you something. More importantly, we'll talk about the game plan tomorrow because I want to get going. But, this level didn't hold. We got to break 160 and close above it. What you do have, okay, the good thing that it did was that this area, okay, this area right here, this previous resistance, it broke it. You have a lot of tails in here, but you broke above it. You pulled back to it, okay. You had a quick dip by, but then it reversed. It quickly reversed. This was a big day. Look at the size of that candle today. So, can FSLR get above 160? Chances are, what was this before? Resistance. You're up here so far. Resistance. We have not taken a candle, right, and closed the candle above it. Okay, so right now, I gotta say that we're gonna get a pullback, but it held the 50-day, right? So really, what I'm saying is like, yes, we have that resistance level up there, but what we have here is see how it bumps into that 50-day, bumps into the 50-day, breaks above it, holds, pulls back to it, rallies. Can we get a gap up and a pullback to let us know, hey, things have changed. There's a gap up. We're coming in with a gap up on a green day. Pull it back and actually hold 160. I want to see I want to see 160 hold. I'm watching 160 on FSLR. Now, FSLR in conjunction, okay? Look at the chart, right? It's a pretty strong name. This could be a big bear flag. I don't know. Could be a head and shoulders there. I don't know. Whatever you could see whatever you want to see, right? Well, what I will say is that it's towards the top end of the range. Now, there's other names, all right? There's more names that I'm going to bring up, and I can bring them up another day. But real quick, ENPH, okay? This sector again closed green on the day. Now, if I pull up that chart, what do you think is weak and what do you think is strong? So, if the market, this is what I'm saying too. If we get the markets behind us and the markets start to go higher and this closes green, let's look to see if we can take this higher. Okay, let's look to see if we can take it higher. Let me make sure. Okay, I did not. I just wanted to make sure. EMPH wouldn't be the one I want to be long. All right, I'm just being. It could be a nice long. I'm not saying it couldn't be. All right, if that's the case. All right, it's holding the 50-day. It's pulling back. It's holding the support level. It's at the bottom of its range. It looks like it could have room. All right. It could have room here. All right. She could have room. You could look for maybe we do get a bounce tomorrow. and maybe you hit that 200-day, and that's been your resistance. Resistance, right? That teal line is your resistance. That's the 200-day. But down here, this red box and this red line is the 50-day. Boom, boom. That's a nice double bottom on the 50-day. It breaks out, it pulls back, and that's the thing with EMPH that I like, is that look at the volume. Okay, what I just showed you was a double bottom, a breakout on what? Increase in volume, a pullback on what? Low volume pullback, and now we start to hold. Can we actually break this 200-day moving average if the market bounces? Okay, I'm going to watch FSLR because FSLR to me is up here, not down here. Okay, so FSLR is typically like a little bit stronger as a sector. Okay, and then you have EMPH there, and then you have Sunrun, which is a little bit lower volatility, but on a daily chart, what do you have? Right, this thing is really, really weak. This is the lesson. Understanding the sector leaders and sector laggards. What is strong, what is weak, versus what the play is. If the play's to the upside, right, on semiconductors or like right now solar names, find the solar names that are strong. Find the solar names that are weak and say, okay, if the market pulls back and solar pulls back, chances are you want to find a different sector that's actually weak. If the markets are closing red and this sector is closing green, chances are you don't want to be short that name. You want to be short something that's actually giving you follow through. Not to say it won't work, but that's just how I've been taught. And you can see here, it's turning this area into resistance. So if the market pulls back tomorrow, then I would look for Sunrun. Okay, now I have to do more analysis on this. There could be a setup or something that I'm not seeing right off the hand. But this is a nice break on what? Increase in volume. It's turning this area into resistance. Can we get a day that looks like this? So far, I have two different trades for solar names. I have an upside trade. I have the stock for the upside trade. I have a downside trade if the markets pull back on a weak name of the same sector if I want to play this. All right. So you got a bounce. Breakdown, that's a nice bear flag. Breakdown, and chances are, let's just see what happens if I measure this move. I could measure it from up there, which I might, but let's just see if this thing takes it. Again, I got to see where, it kind of just starts right there, I would say. And where's that at? Look at that. Right with previous lows. Chances are that's where she's going. Okay. Chances are that's where she's going. If it breaks down, okay? All right, so Sunrun, if it does break down, I want to look to be short up at that 1180, $12 area, okay? I want to be short on bounces. Like if we gap down and we get a bounce to like the prior day's close, prior day's low, short, and then you have a mild level right here at 1096, around $11, and the final take profit will be down at the low $10. You also have what? You also have a nice little gap. You have a gap right there, okay? You have a gap from 9:30 to like 10:15, okay? So that's that. That was solar names, and then the last one is about hacking, which also coincides with what? Palo Alto, Zscaler, okay? CrowdStrike. These names are going to be in. Meta today was down. Facebook was down. Okay. UNH having problems. Ransoms. Okay. Right here. You can see outages from Change in Healthcare cyber attack causing financial mess for doctors. So, I want to look at those names, guys. I want to look at those names. I love you guys. You guys have a great night. Please join us in the morning. Benefit yourself. Give us a try. That's all I ask. If you have questions, I'll answer them. We come on about 7:30 in the morning. It's a little late, so I might be on around 7:45, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see where the markets are. We'll read the news. We'll get our charts loaded up. Where is the opportunity? That's the first thing. We have Bitcoin, so we're going to look at Bitcoin. As in Coinbase, Mara, all right, all those names. We have CrowdStrike. Did very well. 2. Animal, my dude, how have you been, bro? It's good to see ya. I know, bro. It's late. I know. I was working. Do you kind of like the new stuff? I'm still working on the stream, bro, but I'm getting there. Right? I got some stuff coming. The camera wasn't working. I've been having a little issues with it. It works for 2 weeks and then it wants to like take a break for a week. But I feel like I'm going to fix it tonight or tomorrow morning. So I forgot where I was at, but guys, give us a shot, okay? Join us in the morning. I traded UVXY today. You could have been there. You could have had Microsoft. You could have had, not really Tesla because I wasn't really watching it. But those were the top names today, guys. Taiwan Semiconductor was the other one, right? Taiwan Semi. Look at Taiwan Semiconductor. That's a really nice pullback to that base. Aren't you seeing a lot of these? You're seeing a lot of the same setups, right? You're seeing that we broke out and we're pulling back into the previous resistance. That's a nice double top. We broke it. Does it hold? I will be watching it tomorrow. All right, I will be watching TSM. But more importantly, CrowdStrike. All right, that means Palo Alto. I'm going to play the other names that are in the same sector. All right, we'll talk about more of those. Oh, the other one. Okay, remember what I said. What did semiconductors do? Okay, this is big. This is the point of these streams. Semiconductors were green. Intel got smoked. If the market does pull back again, chances are you could look to lean on Intel. All right, it did pull back to the 100-day moving average, this blue line here. I know you can't really see it. Let's go to the daily chart. All right, so it pulled right into the 100-day moving average. It did make it as support, so I'll have to look a little bit deeper for the whatchamacallit, the the volume, see if there's volume that came in at the end of the day. This is a support level at 42.75 area for Intel. Is this going to be a double bottom? Okay, is this and this going to be a double bottom? Well, I guess we'll soon find out, right? Something's going to happen. You guys have a great night. You guys have any questions? Throw them in the chat. I'll get back to it. I'll get back to you tonight or in the morning right here in the comment section. Come join us right here, Ivy League Trading. I urge you, hit the like button, subscribe. You guys help me. You guys don't know how much you guys help me, but you do. And I hope that I help you guys just as much. Not only find an opportunity, but understanding that is the risk worth the reward. If the risk is not worth the reward, we're not trading. Not every day we're going to trade. Okay? Finding the opportunity, knowing how to find the opportunity, and then knowing how to trade it. Okay? Been doing this for a long time. I want to say I'm pretty damn good at what I do. I wouldn't consider myself the best yet, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'll compete with the best of them. I promise. And you guys see it. And I think some of you guys out there know it. All right? There's a reason why I'm able to help find myself in a position. This is not stroking of the egos because the market will humble you real quick. Everyone hits a slow patch, but just, being able to do what you're supposed to do to last. And those home runs are going to come. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great night. Animal, you have a great night. It was really good to see you and hear from you. I hope everything is well, man. Let me know how you're doing. Is everything okay with you? Bingo, same thing. I haven't heard from Bingo. I hope everything is well with him. You guys don't know how much y'all mean to me. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Gold, Bitcoin, energy. If energy keeps rising, gold prices are going to go. We keep hitting that like button. We're going to get that subscribe. We're going to get that 1,000 likes. We're doing a damn giveaway, baby. I'm excited. Be a part of it, guys. Let's go. Do the work. The work will show. Be in it for the long haul. And if you have any questions, throw it in the chat, baby. Let's get it. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. Thursday's going to be a great day. Friday's going to be a great day. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.